After a couple hours of Borderlands 4, I think it's time we talk about the franchise and this game in particular. And is it safe for you to jump into it just off a couple hours? Keep in mind, this is not a review. This is, if anything, it's like a glorified impressions. Couple hours of experience of Borderlands 4. Let's get into it. What's going on, you guys? Gaming Addict here, coming at you another video. Today, we got to talk about this, man. We got to talk about this. Borderlands 4. Now, let's give you guys a little bit of a history. I have played almost every Borderlands, except for the Tina one. And I think people actually said the Tina one was really good. I should probably try that out after this one. And I was always looking forward to what's going to happen with Borderlands 4. Is it going to live up to the hype that Borderlands 2 had? Because I feel like 3 missed a lot of points to a bunch of people. Maybe you guys can put in the comment section below if you guys enjoy Borderlands 3. But I know for a fact that a lot of people was not feeling 3. Now, I myself, I liked it. I liked that they brought back original characters. I like it. I like the story direction. I didn't like the antagonists. And I think that's where a lot of people are losing this game in terms of the franchise. Is a lot of people look at something like Borderlands 2. I think we got to be real with ourselves. Could they make someone like Handsome Jack? Yes. Are they going to make someone identical Handsome Jack? No. I think, if you want to make a character as iconic as Handsome Jack, you're going to have to do it a different way. Handsome Jack, I would say, is like top 5 of the best villains to ever be in gaming. Maybe even top 3. I don't know too many people that's better than Handsome Jack. He was very iconic in Borderlands 3 to the point where they made a Tales game about him. They did a lot of stuff with Handsome Jack, and I think we live in the good old days. Sometimes hurts us in terms of gaming, man. But a couple hours into Borderlands 4, I did pick the Exo Soldier Rafa. We're gonna pop over here and look at some experience when it comes to Rafa, because I only have the experience of him, so I want to be clear on that, which is this individual right here. So it's the Exo Soldier. Now, what I will say about him is he's got some unique abilities. I like him because he's quick with it, man. Keep in mind this little dash ability that everyone's got this gigantic skill going on over here. Bunch of trees, a lot of stuff, good passive abilities. Now, I'm only like level 6 or 7, so I can't really speak too much into what everything's going on. And like I said, this isn't a review. It's just my overall impression. Gunplay feels great. The abilities feel great. The story, I still need to get the story a little bit. I can't really be 100% on the story yet. But one thing I will say is it feels like Borderlands. It feels, Claptrap's back. I'm feeling the comedic relief. The loot system's good. Now, I did get something in like the collector's edition or something. I don't know what it was. First off, I was provided a code by Take-Two, so I don't even know what version of the game they gave me. But it had this crazy gun that switches between lightning and fire attributes, and oh boy, it's kind of crazy. It's crazy how these guns interact. Now, we all know in Borderlands 2, 3, there's a lot of in-game content. Now, as far as this, I ran on a PC and an AMD build, high-end AMD build, and I did see some screen tearing and stuff like that, so keep that in mind. I do know that it is interesting if you go and you look at the reviews. Not a lot of like reviewers are posting this at like on YouTube and stuff, so I'm kind of curious exactly how they determined who was going to get what when it came to this. But one thing I will say is, like, I advise you to go look at people that are playing the console versions if you buy this on console, because I don't know how it runs on console. I got this on PC, and I've always been very vocal with you guys. I want you guys to have the best experience you possibly can, and if that means waiting a couple patches, then wait a couple patches. If you want to jump in here and play it for what it is, I definitely understand that too. This game's good, man. I was really enjoying it. Like, especially the momentum, the the new ads, the new faction, you know, a lot of things that Borderlands does well, this game just hyphens it. It makes it stronger. So, you know, when we go over a little bit more of the other Vault Hunters. Now, one thing I will say is when it's come to the Vault Hunters is I've always felt like these Vault Hunters, I really want to try the new Siren, the Vex. I didn't try her this time, but I really want to try her this. I think what caught me is like at the beginning they show you like an example of how they play through a cutscene, and Rafa's just, his cutscene grabbed me more than anyone else. Ahmed looks like he's more of like a physical brute kind of person. So if you guys, you know, want to really jump into it, to me, Borderlands is about the guns. Now, obviously, he probably shoots guns, but, you know, it looked like a lot of his abilities were related to melee. Doesn't necessarily mean it's bad. This dude kind of reminds me of Zero, and I think that's probably why I went with him a little bit. But, you know, the Gravitars, she looked pretty cool, too. The good thing about it is, like, the Vault Hunters looked interesting. You know, I couldn't tell you one Vault Hunter from Borderlands 3. And I think that was probably one of the biggest issues on top of, you know, the siblings in Borderlands 3 with the antagonists. I wasn't really feeling that either. But I will say that it looks like even if I might not enjoy this antagonist more than Handsome Jack, which is essentially impossible. It's like I said, you're never going to get that type of feeling because of how well he was told. And I think the reason that Handsome Jack works so well, because he's the epitome of Borderlands. That, you know, dark humor, that dry humor, that comedy relief. Handsome Jack was the epitome of it. Now, this new person, you know, I'm not going to even say his name because I don't want to ruin stuff like that. But I think you guys are going to be surprised with it. You know, if I was you, I would go with either Vex or Amon. I don't know how you guys play. Those two seem the most interesting compared to the one I actually did get. You know, that's the one I wanted to play with. I'm going to play with the Exo Surger first. Then I'll go and try out the Siren and the Forge. What I like about Vex is when she's doing her thing, it like labels over the Siren part and it says a witch. So I don't know if like that's a part in the story where people are calling her a witch. Maybe Sirens are extinct in this. Because I do remember, I believe her name was Lilith. I can't remember. It's been so long since I played the original one. But, you know, the original Siren from Borderlands 1, I really liked how they played her in Borderlands 3. Maybe a lot of people didn't like that. But, you know, I like using, you know, the routes that we went from it and going from there. So there's a lot of scenarios that goes into this. I don't think anyone is right or wrong. One thing I will say is I do feel like Borderlands, solid experience from what I played a couple hours. Now, it's like I said, I want to voice this again. Go and double check how these games run on console. Don't just go out there and buy them just to buy them. If you feel like you need to wait for a couple updates, wait for a couple updates. You know, get the best type of experience you possibly can have. Doesn't mean you shouldn't really jump into that. Just if you need to wait. Don't feel bad like you have to just jump out now. Because if you do, you might get upset a little bit. If you have to wait. So, comes down to it, I don't know what to tell you guys, man. You know, after a couple hours, I think it's worth it. I personally feel it's worth it. You know, Borderlands 4, fun experience from what I played on it. I'm probably going to play the whole thing. I don't know if I'm going to stream the whole thing, but I'm definitely going to play through the whole thing and give a formal review on this channel. Because, you know, I might come back 30, 40 hours from now and tell you it's hot garbage and you should play it, which I doubt I'll say that. I think for the most part, Borderlands has always been my type of game, and I don't think I'm going to come back and tell you it's a bad game. I think it's going to be a solid experience that you should try out. You know, I don't know how much it is. I don't know if it's 60 or 70. I know that like people really was getting on them because of the statements they were making, but I don't know if, I'm pretty sure it's 70. If I were a betting man, I would say it's 70. I'm looking right now just to be on the safe side with you guys. Right now, it's looking like, yeah, it's $70. It does have mixed reviews on Steam. So you can see his mixed reviews. And a lot of this is probably performance. Because like I said, it was there, man. Like the performance was definitely coming in. Yeah, see, people are definitely not going to be liking the performance. Like I said, there was some buggy stuff. Performance, this is the biggest game I would say to double check on that performance, especially on consoles. Double check on that performance. If you got to wait until it's on sale when they fix the game, because I don't know if it's broken. I don't know if it's not playable, but there was some little bit of flags that was going on to this game that makes me think that, double check performance. Don't just buy this game. Double check performance. You want the best experience you possibly can have. And it involves waiting a month or two. I'm not the kind of person to tell you. I got it for free. So I'm not going to tell you guys that you shouldn't go out there and experience it. But tell me what you guys think in the comment section below. I'm very curious your guys' opinion. I loved it. Especially on a PC with a good rig. I didn't really have too many performance issues. I say it's worth a jump in. But once again, check that performance. But anyway, put in the comment section below what you guys feel. Very curious your guys' opinion. Until next time, this is Gaming Addict. I'm out of here. Peace. Borderlands, man. I'm happy. That was a great experience.